Welcome to From Pitch to Pontoon.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Calum, and welcome to today's episode of From Pitch to Pontoon. We don't have our best friend Andrew with us today.
No, sad.
He's
I
left us
felt
to
weird
talk.
starting that.
Isn't it? Because I'm
not
Andrew,
nice.
I'm Lisa.
I
Oh,
have
what's
a
that?
little flow, and it's like it's not. It didn't feel
He's
nice.
ruined it for everyone. And he's left us to talk about a very, 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 very important subject today. It's budget season.
I mean, Callum, literally, in this whole business, you and I are talking about budgets. I mean, in our own lives and in the workplace. Number one, can we follow a budget? And number two, oh my gosh, do we really know what we're talking about? I think we do.
I think we do.
In
In principle, we do. In my personal life, not so much, but in my
Same.
professional life, I can follow a budget. My own money, I'm just making it rain every day. I'm that person that gets paid on one day and then the next day it's all gone because I've thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. But we
I
can't.
deserve it.
Do you know what I mean? I just see it and I go, I just need a little treat. I just need a little treat. I need to treat myself. But not today. Today we are talking about business budgets, getting ready for 2026, which obviously means we need to start reflecting on 2025. So, Lisa, when we're looking at starting that new budget cycle, the first things that we should be looking at, what are they? What do we need to be thinking about before we can even start setting that goal for 26?
I think the first thing you need to do is reflect. So the first thing you need to look at is actual versus previous budget.
Look inside yourself.
Yeah, you do. You need to, am I being realistic? Have I, has something changed?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many factors that you do have to think about. I think you need to look at how your actual income and expenses are in comparison to your last budget now, like as of today, because as we say, things change, things are expensive, we all know in this world, prices are changing daily at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look at your price of butter. Take your butter price.
Butter is security tagged, by the way, in supermarkets at the moment.
I'm not surprised where you're from.
I know. I mean, coming from you, I don't know, but okay.
I know.
But you need to also identify any variances. Where did you go over? Where did you maybe not spend what you thought about, and why?
Yes.
I think the why, sometimes we're all so focused on data. Sometimes it's maybe you need to take it back just a little bit more and just understand what's gone wrong or what's gone right. In some instances, what's the reason? What have you been doing? You need to look at cash flow and account balances. You need to know how much cash you have on hand. Are there any cash flow problems, timing issues? Do you have anything like that?
So let's just talk just a little bit on that cash flow situation. So we know that for the park side anyway, they're about to go into that site fee season. So their cash flow injection now is going to be pretty high. But how do you sustain that? How do you make sure that you're not, say, running out of money is not the word I'm looking for here. But how do you maintain that you're not dipping in that, you're not losing out on your money or your income, the money you're due effectively? Because not everyone pays their bills on time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You've got to prepare for those scenarios also. And I think, people do rely on that time of year coming in. Site fees is massive. It's one of those examples where it's like we are not relying on it, but you need to know what you've got before you can kind of budget ahead. But you've got to also think about your costs, think about what you've got, like your non-negotiables. You've got to factor these things in, and they are like obviously your most important. I mean, this is teaching people to suck eggs, really, isn't it? Like you've got to think about
we're not finance professionals.
Your salaries, your rent, salaries are a big one. That's a real, your previous guests from Ladies Mile were talking about the national insurance. And that was a variable. That was a huge change that affected so many people. So, and then you've got to review that. You've got to know where you have flexibility. And then what you've got, it's not, again, like we're saying on payday, make it rain. It's being measured. And what do we really need to do? What actually is going to bring in potentially more income for us? And maybe that's where you should look at what you're spending or where you're going to pop that money in.
And I guess if we're looking at timing issues, if we are saying, I think we can apply this to Marina etc. Is what you would be able to correct me here. So we're talking about site fees and mooring fees. If they're all coming in November, what are you needing to bring in April or May to sort of balance out? Is that when you're looking at your service for boatyards, especially when you're looking at your service?
Yeah.
Do we know we need to target income into that month to then sustain us back over to the end of the year?
That's it. It's like looking at for exactly that maintenance packages on both park and marina. You've got your winterization programs on both sides of that.
Okay.
Both sides of the fence, whether it's drain downs, and then in the springtime, making sure everything's ready for the season to start. Your owners do that, and it's exactly the same with boats. Launching, getting that booked in, services, pressure washing, anti-fouling. You've got all of this that you can then strategically plan throughout the year. So you've got that little constant stream.
Yeah. So I think what we're alluding to is there that we would look for pre-booking of a load of services, a load of holidays, and loads of sales, forecasting into those months. Obviously, you're trying to achieve those. What happens when, the parks at the minute, I've seen a massive shift in their normal trajectory, should we say? So bringing a more flexible approach, I guess, to your budgeting. So not looking at your budgets and going, this is it, it's this or nothing. It's taking, I guess, a more flexible approach to them. So when you are starting to build those budgets out, you've looked at how you've done this year, maybe the year before as well, to see if you've grown or whether you've dipped. So you're looking 24 to 25 to then set for 26. Are you stress testing them? Are you looking at these in sort of 3 layers, I guess? So worst case scenario, everything goes wrong. What does the budget look like? Where do we move? Here's if everything's all right, we see a little bit of growth, and here's actually where we want to attain. That's what we want to get to. When I was setting budgets for holiday sales, I would set it in 3 ways. We'd actually set one below what we'd achieved this year, one where a little bit over, and one was the key goal. But the key goal was obviously that what we presented to the team. So that's what we're based on. So we did everything, but there was complete flexibility in what we were trying to achieve.
You have to. You have to do that because, like we've been saying all along, things happen, nightmares happen, unpredictable events happen, something might come, like when you're at home and your washing machine goes and you think, I need that, do we have that rainy day? It's that rainy day fund, isn't it? Or it's that plan B to think about, what do I do? I mean, you've had it, at the moment now, the colder weather's coming in, Calum, and you're...
my wrist's leaking.
You've got your...
Thanks for that. And I hadn't budgeted for that.
But you've got a plan B and you're fine.
I've got a plan B.
But actually that leads quite nicely into thinking about that nightmare, weather impact, stuff like that. What can
weather
people
has a
think
massive
about?
impact on, if you take touring. So if you've got a great summer, because the sales on them teams seem to be, they're very last minute because they're very weather based. So if you've got a really wet season, your whole touring budget can just go in the bin because it's just been a little bit more volatile in the weather. We're seeing flooding on parks.
Flooding is
increasing.
Huge. That's such an issue.
Actually, talking of tech, and I can't remember the name of the company now, actually, but there is a company out there that actually it goes under the caravan, and it will, as soon as the flooding starts, they just raise the vans up so that they're above the water level to stop any damage. Very, very cool.
It is clever, but you've got to think about these things because it's changing a lot, and it's that thing of last year's budget maybe doesn't suit this year's budget. Did we have unexpected costs due to weather, due to flash flooding, we need to factor that in, and if we don't need it, happy days, great. We've got a little buffer, but it is becoming quite unpredictable.
And then if it goes the other way, so we've got a great summer, actually your season extends itself naturally. I've seen September's as busy as August.
Beautiful.
Pushing into October, and then you're in November. And if you've got a mild enough November, geez, you could pretty much be operating at full capacity to a degree. Obviously November's never going to be quite but pushing it. So when you're looking at your labour costs, because you've got, especially over that peak period, you've got your staffing is predominantly buckled up. Is that the word? We'll go buckled up. buckled up. That's not the right word at all. What is the word?
I don't know what you're trying to say. Oh.
Your staffing levels are buckled up by seasonal and part-time staff.
Yes. Well, exactly that.
They might be seasonal to you because they're going back to university or they have other commitments. So you might only have them for that window. So what do you do then? We need to get extra staff on the windows outside. Have you prepared for agency staff? Have you got the budget sitting ready to make sure that you can get that through? Because yes, it might be great that you're following through into your Octobers, your Novembers, your Decembers, but your accommodation prices at that time aren't going to be as high as they were in the summer.
No.
So can you sustain the income from the holiday versus having to get an agency member of staff in on top of your cleaning costs going up as well?
And I think that it's at those points where you think about diversifying what you're actually offering. If you think about like what social media is showing everybody at the moment, can't wait for the Burr months. Like it's that kind of whole, we're all going in that way where we're looking to be cozy by a fire, maybe in a hot tub, like glamping. Like it's easier to run. You can have shorter breaks. Are you thinking about maybe going down that route? If you can diversify out, be thinking about just outside the box a little bit on how to carry on that season just a little bit longer, just push it just a little bit further.
Squeeze every penny.
Yeah, every last bit. Because then when you get to Christmas and New Year time, you know that, I know especially in Scotland, Hogmanay is massive. Christmas and New Year is always booked in your holiday parks. People want to go away for that time, so you've got that slight raise again.
Yeah, I worked on parks for years. I worked in entertainment, and Christmas and New Year was always rammed. Like absolutely,
you don't
rammed.
have to worry about that time. You kind of, and again though, that's a given. We all know that when we're forecasting, we all know that you could sell that potentially at the moment 3 times over. You're going to be full. So is it taking that for granted as well? Are we buffering for that? Don't know. Is it a guarantee? Fingers crossed it is, because it's a great time. But
I would hope so. Merry Christmas. So we're looking at sort of balancing that ambition with the realism of the budgets. We don't want to be choosing between them, I guess. So how do we go about creating a disciplined path for growth that accounts for uncertainty rather than me and you just cash bashing and selling stuff?
Though.
Come on, be serious.
Okay. So I guess before you start dreaming big, you have to be honest. Yeah. You have to really be honest with yourself about your baseline performance, what actually is working, what isn't working. And I think maybe that's a really difficult conversation to have with yourself sometimes, because you can be so convinced something is working, but actually
that's the way forward. We're not moving from that path.
Yeah.
It worked.
Where are your weak points? And again, that's a really hard thing. None of us like to do that, but that's how you
I think in terms of monetary, it's easy to go, we're a week over there, or we're a week over there.
Yeah.
But what's causing that weakness is often a different story.
It's just lifting that rock up, isn't it? And looking a little bit further. And
why can't we get this new accommodation type off the ground? Why can't we get this new exclusive yacht club bar up and running? What's causing that not to hit with your customers, with your staff, and more importantly with your ledgers? So making sure that you're sort of addressing them as well. Yeah,
100%. And I think again, reflection. Where did you overestimate last time?
Stop asking me to look inside.
Got to. What it's all about.
So welcome to the self-reflection podcast with me and Lisa.
That's kind of like, I feel like I should have a gong here, or one of those things that they make nice noises with.
Ask yourself, what could you have done better in 2026? Are you the best person you could possibly be? Sorry, you've set me off now.
No,
I'm going to stop. I'll shut up.
You carry on with your ASMR. Fine. You ask you to be serious, and then you encourage me not to be. So
where's your business traveling? Right, I'm done. Thank you.
So
I should read books for a listen.
Oh, you could do that. That would be nice.
Right, I'm done. Please, you're making a really important point.
My train of thought, Calum. We've been silly billies right now, but we do actually have qualified accountants that work within Elite, and they're much more knowledgeable than we are. And we did reach out to one of our lovely, lovely accountants who has worked on Park. Oh, you said her name. I didn't know if we were allowed to do that, but yes, Nadia.
Say hi.
Love Nadia.
I just want to see if she listens, that's all.
Yeah, she actually breaks it down to a way that even I understand, so I love her for that. But we did reach out in all seriousness and asked some questions, and she's very, very busy, unfortunately, so she couldn't join us today. So we'll just work through what she has sent, Callum. And one of her first things that she said was, one budgeting lesson I learned the hard way, and that was revenue is theory, expenses are reality. It's easy to get caught up in the growth optimism, but expenses, they hit the bank account no matter what. Now that actually explains it very well. Would you not agree?
I 100% agree. There's no getting away from your expenses, whatever you think your revenue is. Yeah, they are going to hit the bank no matter what.
And then the biggest red flag you'd spot straight away in a budget, Nadia's, are copy-pasted lines, items from the previous year, especially in variable cost categories. Lack of fresh thinking, and she has really underlined that, made that in bold, which is just what we have actually been speaking about the whole way through. Or wishful budgeting, hoping nothing will change when things always do.
So one of the sort of cost centers that Nadia has said that our operators should never ignore, preventative maintenance being right up there, so that you're sort of mitigating your risk, making sure your guest satisfaction insurance, asset preservation rolled into one, so you're looking for emergency repairs mid-season. Always happens.
Always,
you might have leaky roofs, leaky hulls, leaky boatyards. So making sure you've got the money. A leaky boatyard, like in the boatyard. So the roof of the boatyard might be leaky.
Oh no, the water's going to leak.
Well, not water in the marina. What are we going to do?
Spilled the plug.
The nasty.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We also sort of looked at asking where it's worth investing more rather than cutting back. So investing more where it directly impacts your guest experience, revenue reliability, or your team's ability to perform. Really, really important places to looking at investing. So we've got some common budgeting shortcuts that backfire.
Oh, interesting.
Things to avoid. Flat percentage increases across the board. We can't just say all round everyone's going to do 20% up. It might not be possible. You've got to look at where you are, where those fluctuations are. And I guess, Lisa, the difficulty that operators out there might find in actually seeing that data, getting the story out of the data, and then putting it into actionable insight.
Absolutely. So obviously we have Elite Analytics. It is basically in the simplest terms, it is reporting. It's reporting at your fingertips. So it allows you to build reports. Well, we build your reports, and you can analyze them. You can create tables that you need to send out to your teams. You can check this year versus last year, so it helps you with your forecasting. It allows you to slice and dice that information really, really well, really simply, and then share that out with your teams as well, so everybody is singing essentially off the same hymn sheet or analytics sheet.
The analytics, I think the most important thing maybe about analytics and Power BI, which is obviously what it's built on,
based on Power BI,
is that it's easy to read because it's in digestible dashboard. So it's in graphs, it's in table.
Yes.
So if you are
information that if you're not a financial controller that you can understand, and that's exactly why it's so great.
It allows you to take them on that sort of journey with you. So for those businesses, those departments that maybe aren't so financially invested, but still have budget targets to make, they can see all of that in a graph. They can see those dips and those spikes, and they can understand very, very easily. Well, there is a massive dip in November in
it's
revenue.
A visual, isn't it? A visual speaks 1,000 words. You know, that's what they say, isn't it? And if you're not a person that has the patience, like myself, to dive into data and really analyze it, because some people we're just not all built that way.
Nope.
Elite Analytics just provides it in a way that is so simple, exactly that you can see very clearly. Whoa, we've got a wee issue there, or whoa, look at the like that.
And if you have got that analytical mind, you can just drill into the dashboard, drill into all the data that's hiding behind it, so it hits everybody.
I think even if you're not analytical, you can drill down just a couple of steps more just to
Yes.
have a little bit of an understanding. I don't think you do have to have an analytical mind for that. For elite analytics, it does provide that for people that are maybe not in the accounts department or who are not used to be setting budgets, but maybe have to follow them. I would say it's a great tool for that. It absolutely is. And it can be presented up on a wall, on a telly. We all, it's there. You can view it if that's something that motivates your team.
I
You've
had
got
ours on the
it.
telly, so that it was
That's
there and
what,
it was visual.
yeah.
Because it's updating in real time, so they could pretty much see like their sales going in all day and seeing the little
Yeah.
trigger just move. I mean, I was slightly obsessed with it, so I was checking it constantly.
I can
But we had the
imagine.
budget set against it as well, so they could actually see budget versus achieved constantly. And then same day last year where they were. And
Which it spurs you on a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, exactly, because they were going, right, well, I'm going to beat this, and we're going to beat it, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And you'd see them going, oh, we've got like 1 week to go. We're missing 10 grand, right? Let's go. And they would get so buzzing about seeing it move it. And it's such a, not the weird isn't the right word, but it's
that common, isn't it? And I get it quite a lot that you don't work in I'm not a salesperson. I don't enjoy selling. But actually, when you're watching that go up and you're doing it and you enjoy that process. There are people that like it and think you'd be surprised.
Yes. Let's just talk a teeny tiny bit more about products. Obviously, within elite parks, elite marinas, we're talking budgets. Set your budgets up in the system.
You do
and
indeed.
and then your actuals are done on that. So you've got your finance team that can work away on proper finance, which I'm going to keep my head out of for the minute. But they've got their version. They've got all their pluses and minuses around the wrong way, and they can do that with their budgets. But then the analytics side is, I would say, non-finance friendly. You can you can see it. The pluses and minuses can be in the right way around for people.
But the beauty of it, the same debits and credits. But the beauty of it is it's all the same data. You're all reading the same information, and it is just broken down into a way that person or that will understand it, because it's not wrong. It's just everybody has to be budget aware within a business, right? That's a fact. You have to, regardless whether you are the maintenance man or the CFO. You have to be budget aware. So it's getting that information out in the way that somebody understands or that they need to see it. And that's the beauty of it. But it's all the same data.
And I think if we were looking at it, budgets don't mean cutting costs.
And that's probably a big misconception, actually. Do you not think?
Because, you've only got 30 grand to spend this year. Okay, but what if we were to invest? And I think we've just had Porter Newport have joined us, obviously. They've taken on Elite Marinas, and their finance director has actually worked out that by investing in technology, they are going to save 132 hours a week.
Yeah. I mean,
for understaff, and up to $180,000 a year.
Yeah. That team, I was part of like the pre-sale process. I met them in demo stage, and they are so forward thinking in that way. And it's so it was really refreshing to see that actually I'm going to give you this. I'm going to make your lives easier, because I know on the other side of that, once we've put this into our processes and we've gone through the process, that we've got something here that is actually going to make our revenue greater. We're going to get a better experience, but we're also going to make more money. And it was really great to see. Actually, it was really great to see that person be so forward thinking within his own business, and you could see that he really understood the situation. He really took a good view of his whole business and understood everything, understood where they could see a little bit there. And even with Elite Marinas, he could see where he could get the benefit from the system with whatever process he was doing, and it was really, really good to see, actually. So you definitely
we love. So key takeaways to take away from our big budget special from two non-finance people.
Sorry, guys.
Key takeaways, I would say, number one, understand your data, understand the story that it tells, make sure they're flexible, make sure you've got room for investment.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be a little bit controversial. And I'm going to say,
God.
if you don't spend money, you lose money.
Fair.
I think. I think that's a good one. And I think my favourite word of this podcast has been reflection.
But
so I think reflect. Be honest upon that. Really think about.
Reflect. Thank you for joining us here on the Big Budget
That's
Special.
Very nice. Super ASMR.
Okay, I think that's probably enough from us on budgets for this year. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We hope you got some takeaways from myself and Lisa on our Big Budget Special. And if you would like some proper advice, how you can leverage tech to set your budgets and make a clearer strategic move for growth in the future, why not reach out and speak to us? Everything's worth a conversation.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, what you got to lose?
So much to Nadia for sharing her insights with us.
Okay, that is enough from me and Lisa. We will see you in 2 weeks' time or in the future in a couple of minutes, depending on when you're listening. But look out for our next episode, which is the big 10-year anniversary celebration. So definitely one to look out for.
That's a good one. I have to say, Calum, I actually enjoyed that a bit more than I thought I was going to. I was a bit nervous about today. I was, yeah. I actually do know a little bit about
of course
keeping
we do.
Budget.
We're professionals.
My husband may disagree, but that's his problem.
Perfect. We will see you all again next time on From Pitch to Pontoon.
Bye.
Bye.